Hi, Kieran, you alright?
Yep.
If you can just let me know if you want to ask a question, I'll make sure we come to everyone. And in the meantime, Stuart Watson can get us underway.
Hi Kieran, it looks like it might be a familiar story for your team today. Started quite well, find yourself 2-0 down. You must be delighted with the character for the comeback.
Yeah, it was certainly a difficult spot to be in, both in terms of how we've come into the game and the challenges again we've had this week, just getting a fit group together to start the game and trying to get some players back for the bench, and coming here knowing that it was a big day for Everton as well. So yeah, I didn't think we started badly, but two moments really that, it's the level. Beto was really good on crosses and we didn't defend him well enough, and then we should do a good strike, but we should do better with it, and you're in a really difficult spot then in the game and in your season. But the group really stuck at it. Of course, it was a great goal to get us back in it, but the goal also probably doesn't happen if the group have stopped believing and dropped their heads at that point. And I thought we were good value for a couple of goals. Thought we played some good football, defended with pretty good organisation, didn't give Everton too much, and thought we were value for a point.
Just a bit more on that strike from Julio. And we know he's got it in his locker from a few times for Brighton. Does he do it in training?
Yeah, he does. He's he's got an incredible show reel for a young player, certainly. But yeah, it's in some ways frustrating that we haven't had him for more of the season, to be honest, because he arrived late and then he had an injury pretty soon after coming, and that individual quality that pretty much every team at this level has lots of, that can win you points and win you games, and Julio's certainly one who can do that. So yeah, we're enjoying having him. I think it's a testament to him, how he's working for the group, to be honest, because of course he's a lone player here for a short while, and he's not quite been able to get the momentum up that we would have wanted early enough in the season. But he's stuck at it. The group have stuck with him. They know he's a talent. They know he can make a difference with us. So they're pushing him. They're helping him improve. He's improving. The players who come to us tend to do so, and you can see him getting better and maturing by the week. And he made a big difference for us today. He made a big difference for us at Stamford Bridge, at Bournemouth, and we would have loved to have had him a little bit earlier.
Subs make an impact today. That must be pleasing for you as well.
Yeah. No, the bench is getting a little bit stronger than it has been in recent weeks. So it was nice to have Calvin sort of back available, and Omari back, which then enabled you to have Jack or someone else on the bench. So yeah, we're still not anywhere near full strength, of course, but I think we'll get stronger over the next couple of weeks, and we know the bench can make a big difference at this level. So the three boys who came on, especially early, done really well and give us energy whenever we started to lack it probably, and delighted for George with a goal.
Just in general terms, the character of this group, the relegation to have been confirmed last week, to come from 2 goals down, and with the context of what this game means to Everton.
Yeah, I think that's evident, and to be honest, I think it's been there all season. Some days it's harder to show it than others. With the level of the opponent, but I think it's been there all season and shown again today. In a difficult circumstance, everyone stuck at it. Even at the start of the second half, we started really well, but then there was a spell where we had to defend all together for 10 minutes with real discipline, and even at 2-1 down, everyone was prepared to do that. And you do that, you give yourself a chance to push on later in the game and get the goal back. So yeah, I don't think there's any question mark around that. It's how it has to be. The supporters deserve it, and that's what we have to keep on showing.
Kieran, just on Julio, I presume is that just a loan, and he will go back to Brighton when the season's over, or is there any option to keep him?
No, look, it's a contractual thing, but there's no option to keep him. He's a big talent, and he's a Brighton player come the summer.
Let's go back to George. Probably struck his goal, but he's done very well, hasn't he? I mean, he's played really this season.
Yeah, he has. It's another, I think, will be a frustration for us in the summer, because we've missed him this season a lot, to be honest, when he hasn't been available. And yeah, he makes a good impact off the bench when he's had his chances to start. He's done really well. He deserves to play more, but Liam's form has been very good. But I think he's developing really well. I think he's got a great chance. I think those profile of strikers, if you're saying taller, sort of maybe gangly in his early 20s strikers, they tend to, I think, develop a little bit later at times. And often you look at some of the ones who've gone on to do really well at 24, 25. They're certainly not where they are at 28, 29, 30. So, yeah, I think he's got a good chance to keep developing, and he's maturing well, and a really good moment for him.
You mentioned lots of late calls at the end. How many were there, and who specifically?
Yeah, look, I think we're working the start of the week where we've been the last few weeks with a group of sort of 13, 14. All the boys who were on the bench who back in, so Jens, Calvin, Axel, not fit to start the game, but made themselves available for the team really. Omari, of course, good to get him back in the side today, and we're missing, probably our 4 first choice fullbacks, if you want to call it that, which is pretty unusual. So again, it's a back line of 2 centre halves out of position really in the full back positions, and Wolfie and Burge really stepping up. So yeah, a lot of challenges, but the boys have coped with it well.
And the second Everton cup, did it take a distraction from what he's seen from the
I don't think it did. There's a lot of swerve, and Dwight Neil's done that before, and it's not easy to read. I'm sure we'll maybe look at it and think we could do better. I think it's just a swerve on the ball.
Joe?
Just about Hurst as well. Obviously, Liam has had a lot of publicity this season, and rightly so, I guess. But for the other players, does that kind of inspire them? I'm sure there's no jealousy, but do you know what I mean? For people like him who was playing second fiddle and then he gets his chance to score as goal, it must be a good feeling for him.
Yeah, it will be. Look, everyone's pleased for each other in that group, and anyone individually does well. So we know that Liam's goal tally's been good and his performances have been good and had plenty of notice, but George knows, he can feel it day to day that he's getting better. He feels it, and we all see it in training. And he's managed to show it at Premier League level, and it's a big jump from where he was a couple of years ago. He's not even had that much time really playing Championship football as a starter. He really had the first half of last season. So, yeah, at 25, I think what he still is, the way he's growing physically and mentally, I think he's got a great chance to keep pushing on.
Oh, last one.
You mentioned Liam up there. He seems to enjoy the physical battle engaging with centre backs, but there was that moment in the first half where obviously he got himself a yellow card, and then there was a foul straight afterwards. And then it felt like maybe he pulled out of a potential challenge just ahead of the Dwight McNeil goal. Do you think that this is something that you're going to have to maybe speak to him about, being able to pick your battles when it comes to that physical side of the game?
No, Liam knows this. He likes to play on the edge, and it's a strength of his, so he knows he needs to manage it, and he's done it pretty well this year.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Joe? David, just how frustrating is it to be in such a commanding position and to relinquish that lead?
We're disappointed. We never shook Ipswich off, really. They were always there or thereabouts. We just couldn't quite get enough. But I thought we'd done a lot of good things. We've tried some different things today as well to see how players play in different roles. I thought we'd done really well in the opening part of the game. For sort of 30 minutes or so, I thought we played really well. Got the goals eventually, but I think the goal just before half time for them just sort of rocked us a little bit. Always gave Ipswich something to keep going at, and we couldn't quite get the third goal to get ourselves sort of clear.
You said you tried a few new things today. Did you feel like you learned anything about this group of players or any players in particular?
Well, it's sort of things that a lot of the supporters have been asking about Ellie playing as a 10 and wanting to see more of Charlie Alcaraz. So we've given them another good opportunity to show what they can do. Getting Dwight back, it's the first time I've had Dwight since I've been at the club. I thought he scored a good goal. Still lacked a bit of intensity in his play in the first half. I actually thought he got better in the second half. Put in 3 or 4 brilliant crosses for us in the second half, which probably, if we'd got on the end of one of them, it might have just seen us over the line, really. So the game was always tight, but we should have done a bit better. We've had it a couple of times now. We've been 2 up and not seen it out.
What do you put that down to? Is it a lack of quality or is it mentality? Or?
No, I think if I'm just answering it really easily, I think if we all knew the answer, well, we'd make sure it doesn't happen again. I think there's a bit of understanding how to see the game through. I thought we made a couple of terrible decisions, a couple of players on the pitch for the second goal regarding runs and tackles and whatnot when neither were needed. and we sort of left ourselves a bit exposed.
And what was your message to the players at the end?
Probably a bit what we're saying. I'm disappointed we didn't win, but I think there's a lot of positives from where we've been and how we're playing and what we're doing, trying to make the chances. We didn't have enough shots in the second half, but I thought we'd near enough control most of the game up until the last 5 minutes, or even after only the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes when they got a couple of corners and long throws at that point, whatever time that was. I thought in the main we controlled the game, and they scored near enough. I wouldn't say on the break, but certainly on a bit like that.
Thank you.
Dave?
Just on Barrow, David, because he just seemed to get better for you. That was a lovely header.
Mm-hmm. It was a great header, and actually it was something which I think the other thing is a great delivery from Charlie as well, which I've been talking a lot about getting better assists and better finishes. Well, that was a good one. We had one or two other moments where maybe we could have done a little bit better. I thought in the first half our crossing in the box wasn't as good as it should have been. I thought the second half it got better. But overall, Beto's done great. Gets himself another goal today. So he's been doing really well, Beto. We're pleased with him.
He's joined top scorer with Dundee on 9, which isn't bad because it's been hard for him to say something yourself.
Yeah. Well, look, I think if you know better than me, if you worked out probably what it would be like if he played a lot more of the games, you might be saying, hey, this could be somebody who's got 14, 15 goals maybe. So we hadn't scored for a couple of games there, though with draws and we didn't get any goals. So, but I think today he got a goal, and maybe he could have had another one as well.
Any further questions, guys?
All good.
Is that it?
That's it. Better get home, lads and ladies.
Just before we go, we'd just like to call Dave forwards. I believe it's your last game today on behalf of...
I'm giving you a contract. Okay. Hey.
Do you want to just call me a Dave?
I'm needing some players for next season. We heard you were the best out of this group in here. Good. Well done.
The best time
25. You might just miss out in the squad with that number. Just pull it, hold that tight. Yep.
Did we get a picture? Yeah. It's a small mind, just grabbing a picture. I'll get on my phone and I'll send it to you.
Nobody's taking your picture out here. You want it the other way around? There we go.
Perfect.
Good stuff.
Cheers.
Good luck. Good luck.